Hello you beauty peeps, my name is John, welcome to my channel. Do you want to change your WO Toys, a 144001, 144010 into this? That's right, you can completely transform the look of your two cars with $18 and 17 cents, and that includes 2 body shells. Let me show you how. So first of all, let me show you what comes in the box. You have 2 shells, as I said, 2 sets of stickers, 1 blue or 1 red for the different colors, and you have all of this. Pack of screws, I'm probably not going to use those, or try at least not to use those. Rear wing and rear wing mount, it's obviously a lot more solid. 2 shock mounts, the top tray, and a front bumper. All of this for just $18.70, and it transforms your car, as you saw. I think that's quite a bargain, but depends on how well it goes together, doesn't it? So let's get on. First thing you need to do, take off your shell, get a shot of that, and then you have to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 screws. Let's get on. I have no idea why one of my screws is longer than the other, the one that came out of here. That's not normal, but you know, there you go. I have already removed this, but all I actually did was I got a knife very carefully and just went along with the blade open, both sides, obviously doing it away from you, and it came off straight away. So that gets out of the way. And this is the tray that you no longer need. So this one, in theory, should fit straight on. And the reason why you need to do the top tray, so this will fit, obviously. It won't fit because of the front there. So I think the very first thing we will do is put those screws back in and make sure everything fits. I think these ones need to be slightly longer because these have got a bit of a lip on them. Slightly 2 millimeters longer. They're going in, but I don't think they're going to hold very well. So, but they don't have any with this thread on it, as you can tell. So, okie dokie. That's the one that was in there. I believe they actually come with this one new from the factory now. So I'm just going to put one of those in now, just to make sure it fits fine. Much better. Okie dokie. Right, now this is where there's a bit of an issue. This is the front, and it would fit in that way, like so. And as you can see, they've got big ball joints at the front. To remove this whole section, they want you to remove the big bolt, that spacer, and the nut at the front, and then just obviously in the head of the shock here is a ball joint. They want that popped out as well, and then you just push this whole plastic part onto it. However, have a look at the distance there. You see, if I line up the shock tower, you see how much closer in it is. It's like it's 2 millimeters max, maybe 3. But there isn't 3 millimeters here. So by using these, it's actually going to rub at the side here. Doesn't help that the front shock tower is also angled slightly, so it's even more going to rub there. So I believe these have to come off, but let's just take that off and just verify first. Now, if you look here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to take off, but you also need to take these top tie rods off here, 1, 2. So let's get those off now. Okie dokie. So then we can get the 4 screws off here. Yep, they're all the same. So, if you see that the lower ball joint is like that, that's how it's going to fit. So I'll just put that straight back on actually. Then we know for sure that everything's going in the right place. So again, you've got the 4 screw holes that they need to go into. So that's those 4 in now. So, will these shocks now fit? Do you know what? I could be wrong by a few smidgen millimeters. So the question is, do you want to pop out the ball joint heads in here and use those there, or use the system that came with the original car? I'm going to use the same system because I quite frankly prefer it. You can do what you want at this point. And I always like 3 ball joints, so. I will just double check that it obviously works though, before I do this. Da, da, da. Is that why they've done it? Okay, look, that's why they've done it, because the shock is now not quite straight. If I take that off, just to give you some idea, you see how the shock's a little bit straighter. I still think I'm going to go that way. I'm putting money on that. Plus it's a pain getting those ball joints out the heads of those shocks there, so. Nice. Now the tie rod at the top has to go on. Just make sure that your drive shaft is still in position. You see that my one there is just slightly falling out, so just need to line it up again. There we go. And then push it onto the brand new ball joint there. Nice tight fit. Check the other side. Yep, that's fine. Excellent. Done. Right. As you can see with this top tray as well, they've moved the ESC from slightly further along to that point there. So obviously the hump of this is slightly further forward, so that's why they've done that. Okay, turn it around and we have to undo the shocks. So we'll do those quickly. Excellent. So once again, the rear tie rods have to come off. So pop it off there and the drive shaft will just drop out. So we'll get rid of that. And on this side, same thing. Excellent. So those are out the way. Now, you have a look here. You have 2 screws that need to come off there. And same thing at the front. These 2 here in there, they're actually in the rear spoiler, rear wing mount. So I'll just get those off now. So sorry. Okay. It's not easy to show you on this one, I'm afraid. And then, if I've done it right, take that last little bit off, the whole thing should just come off. There we go. So we have 2 screws, and then the 2 from the rear wing. Come on. There we go. So that can just go out of the way. And these are different sizes because it obviously went through the rear wing mount here, so it had to be slightly longer. So the ones that go at the top and the smaller ones go at the bottom. So, but it depends obviously on the size of this new one. So it goes that way around because these ball joints have to be at the front so that the tie rods can go on them. But before we do that, we have to see how this mounts. So it's got the little slit along there. It obviously goes like so. So how does that affect that? Aha, that doesn't get that. This isn't affected at all by the mounting points, whereas, as you know, on this one, it uses the lower mount. These just have to be fitted directly back on. So I'm still going to use the longer ones at the top. Ooh. And the shorter ones at the bottom. There we go. That is now done. So this one will just mount on the last two holes that we have free there. Come on. But we don't have spare, so we're going to have to use a couple of these. I reckon that size. Yeah, give that a go. That is the size I'm using. There are, oops. Actually, I'm going to use the longer one, the longest one that's in that pack, because it's got to go all the way through to that plastic there. So as you can see, no, reverse. It does affect it. I didn't realize that there were two holes at the bottom as well. So rewind that and take off these top two here. Glad I noticed that. I thought it was weird that the whole rear wing mount was being held on only by two, as it does take quite a beating, so. So again, as you can see, use the original screw to go through the lower mount there. It's hard to record and do at the same time. Nice. And then those long ones. Oh God, it's even tighter to get in there. I'm going to use the same system. All the way in there. So that is now fitted. Again, I'm going to take off this system here. I don't know why I don't like it. Bizarre. Ooh. I think the reason I don't like it is because there's a lot of damage done to the front here. You can see that these are quite well worn down. And I think with this system, there's no give. The only thing that can snap is the top of your shock. Whereas with these, a lot of you already know that the actual bolt itself bends. So that's a little bit of flex there, and I prefer that personally. So right, job now is to put the dog bone drive shaft back in. Like so. And top one of that fell off. Put it back on there. Oh, nice. Oh, that's nice and tight. And this side. And on the ball joint. Excellent. So now just the shocks back on and we'll see how this baby looks. Obviously I need to get some tape and fit that in position, and I will do that very, very soon. But for now, let's see what she looks like, shall we? Oh, that fits down nice and crisp. Does it go that way or that way? That way, of course. And like so. There we go. What a transformation that looks. Look at that. That really is actually quite hard to believe that they're the same car. That is fantastic. Absolutely love that. And what's that taken? Where are we? Where's the counter? About 20 minutes. So that's not very long. You're going to watch a lot less. Oh, I've forgotten one thing, ladies and gents. That fly's going to get killed. Yeah. And that is this front bumper. Very, very simple. 2 screws out. Two screws back in. Cool. And if you don't have one of these, just put it on your rear like what I've done there. A little bit of rear protection when it's landing on its bum. There we go. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. 1870 US dollars to transform your car, including the rear spoiler wing. I think that is quite a bargain, don't you? So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, stay safe, take care. Bye-bye.